I'm going on an adventure. I'm going to drive on the I-5 and take my new electric car, my new Tesla, and go as far south as I can and look for some warmth and some natural beauty. Behind me I've got stuff that I'm going to try and pack in my car, and I've already set up a bed in the back of my car, which will be super comfortable. I'm excited to sleep in my car. It's raining, and it's probably going to rain for the next 2 weeks, so that's why I'm so motivated to go south. My daffodils should be blooming by the time I get back. There's my neighbor doing her morning run. Here's the car. I got to pack it all up. When I put the seats down, the mattresses will roll out, and I've got a super comfortable bed here. Next time I will make the bed after I pack the car because the blanket's getting in the way. For practically the whole ride down, I had the car driving itself. It just made the drive go so quickly and seem so easy. The main reasons I wanted an electric car are to not have to pay for gas, obviously. And I really like the idea of being able to sleep in the car because it has climate control and it can stay on all night. And having the full self-driving package, it's not totally ready yet, but even just being able to not just cruise control, but staying a certain amount of car lengths behind the car in front of you, keeping up with traffic. It can change lanes. If you put the indicator on, it can go and change lanes when it's safe. Almost the entire ride from White Rock to Portland, I hardly had my foot on the gas at all because it was just keeping up with the speed, and I can dial it up or down if I want with what it was set at, and it really did do it automatically. I think I slept for 10 hours. It was really, I guess I needed it. Great sleep. The car is completely soundproof, so you don't hear any highway noise or traffic noise or doors shutting. I've been charging about every 2.5 hours. I could probably stretch it to 3, maybe 3.5, but I don't like to have the battery go down less than 20% just because I'm kind of new to this and I don't want to get stuck. Though I was thinking if I did get stuck, all I really need to do is find an outlet to plug my car in, and I have an extension cord and the adapter, so I really could plug it into anywhere. But the fast chargers are more convenient. So I went into a hotel lobby to use their washroom, and a couple of guys in the lobby were drinking beers and talking to the receptionist, and I asked them about the charging at the hotel just out of curiosity, and it came up that I was at the Tesla charger station across the street. And the guys were, well, one of them was saying how Teslas are bad for the environment because of the batteries. I said, I know right now it seems like that, but they will be recycling the batteries. In fact, they've already started. There's some guy that used to work at Tesla, I couldn't remember his name or the name of his company, but he started a battery recycling company. So eventually it will be better. He was just so anti-Tesla, I thought I would ask him if he was in the oil and gas industry, and he said he was. So I said, do you make good money in the oil and gas industry? And he's like, yeah. So I said, well, maybe, these are young guys too. So I said, well, I've got a tip for you. You can buy some Tesla shares right now for $800. And I was buying them all the way up to $1,100. So they're on sale right now. And he's like, well, how do I do that? I said, just go to your bank and tell them you want to set up a trading account and they can help you. At first they were super aggressive, but by the end they were shaking my hand and high-fiving me and wishing me well on my journey. So that was fun. Well, that was close. I did a bit of a detour yesterday by accident. When I started driving, I was watching the battery go down on my car, and I was watching how many miles I had to the charge station, and they were both ticking down like almost at the same rate. It was scary. I totally had range anxiety, and it was not fun at all. When I got here, I had 9% battery left, which is way too close for comfort for me, but I guess I'll just plan better in the future to make sure that I don't go past 20%, because I did not like that feeling at all. I arrived at this California rest stop at about midnight last night and had a great sleep. Slept till about 8 in the morning. My Whoop strap tells me I slept more efficiently in my car than I do at home. It was restful, it was quiet, it was safe, and now I'm ready to continue my journey south. This is the most Teslas I've ever seen in one place. Hello, Sapphire. I made it to California. It's pretty, it's nice weather, and I'm a little sleepy. I have been driving since Friday night, and the last 5 or 6 hours were a lot of traffic going up to and through LA, and that was hard. Just being on such a busy highway and taking exits and going in and out. So yeah, the shine's wearing off a little bit on this part, and I just want to get, problem is I want to get into nature, but I don't know how accessible the charging stations are in these national parks, and going up mountains and stuff. How much am I gonna, I don't want to, I have range anxiety. So yeah, it's been an interesting experiment. It's not as cheap as I thought. I think I've already spent $175 on electricity just to get down here. So that was a bit more than I expected. It's about a third of that to get that much charge at home when you plug it in at home. So you pay a premium for the fast charge, I guess. My car is super comfortable to sleep in. I love that. And it's great to drive. But I guess I'm just not a fan of big cities and driving in them. I figured out that if I turn off Sentry mode, the battery doesn't lose any power while it's parked. So that's what I do if I feel like I'm cutting it close to the next supercharger. Things to do while you're waiting for your Tesla to charge. This is very exciting. I'm at Knott's Berry Farm. I looked online to see about getting a ticket to Disneyland, but I didn't realize you had to book it in advance. So I looked at other amusement parks. It said on this Is It Packed website that it wouldn't be too crowded on a Monday, so I'm pretty excited to go and try some roller coasters and just do something fun. I haven't been here since I was a kid. I don't really remember anything except thinking that I loved it, so it's going to be a good fun day and nice adventure, and I'm happy that it's sunny and warm, and I've got my Travel Everywhere t-shirt on because I've been waiting to wear this for probably 2 years, so I'm happy to be finally traveling. Travel everywhere. First in line for Ghost Rider. I just followed the kids. We just ran to the first ride. It was like running with the bulls. Ghost Rider was so fun. It was super scary and I was screaming my head off, but I didn't feel sick at all, which is what I like in a roller coaster. I hate the queasy feeling, but I love the adrenaline from going up high. And then I thought, well, I'll do all the roller coasters in the park, and I got to, I think, 6 out of 8 or 9, and on the last one that I just did, it was so bad. My stomach was just retching the whole time, and when I got off I had to sit beside a garbage can for a few minutes just in case I threw up. So I'm done with roller coasters for the day. This is the one that did me in. Today was a great day. I went for a swim in the morning. I'm at Huntington Beach. I just went for a swim. It's foggy right now, but it's pretty warm. The water's cold, but it was very refreshing, and it was a lot of fun to go in the waves and try not to get knocked over. And then I rented a bike and went along the beach. And ate some amazing food out of my car that I got at Trader Joe's, and it was just really relaxing and fun. All that driving was worthwhile. Now I'm in the warmth and being spontaneous, figuring out what's gonna happen. I don't know. A funny thing happened today. I was sitting on a bench eating a salad, and a homeless guy tried to give me $15. I just put it back in his wallet and told him to keep his money safe. And he said, "What for?" I said, "To buy food." I'm in Newport Beach. Today I tried surfing and it was very hard. I went to the surf shop in Huntington Beach and I asked them if the waves were suitable for beginners, and they said no, it's too big today. So they suggested I try this beach. So I rented a surfboard and a wetsuit, and it wasn't as cold as I thought, but it was so much harder than I thought. Just getting out past the break, paddling through those waves, I got bashed around so much. I did manage to stand up a couple times, but I got thrown off pretty quick. So my vision of riding into shore didn't exactly happen. I was determined to stay on my board and keep trying until either I rode to shore or my 3-hour time limit ran out. But after 2 hours, I could not do it anymore. And that's saying something, because I always want to get my money's worth. So for me to hand in a board early really shows you how hard I worked. Showering at the beach in cold water is doable. But yeah, I'm kind of ready for something else. So I was looking online at hotels around here, and you can't find anything for less than $200, $250, all the way up to $800. And it's basically like that all over California, in Palm Desert, Palm Springs, all over LA, all down the coast. I even looked on Airbnb, but of course they just go by the market price, right? So it's just so much money. So I started broadening my search, and I ended up booking something in Las Vegas. I booked a hotel on Hotwire. You just basically put in your parameters of what you want, and like how many stars, what price, what amenities. And I put in non-smoking, a pool, and I took off free parking because it was limiting my choices too much, and I Googled it, and parking I think is only about $15. So that should be okay. Anyway, I got Caesar's Palace, so that's pretty good. It's I think it's $100. It was like 40 US, and then the resort fee was 50, so 90 or 100. So pretty good deal. Well, I made it to Vegas and I made it to Caesar's Palace. I haven't been able to check into my room yet because check-in isn't until 4 p.m. Well, luckily they are allowing me to access the pool until then. So I've got all my stuff here, and I'm just gonna sit by the pool and relax and swim. I was thinking on the ride over, maybe if they happen to have availability tomorrow night, I could ask if they could match the rate that I got online and stay another night. And the guy at the front desk politely told me that no, you can't match prices. It's basically, if I can find something online, go for it, but otherwise what they offer is what they offer. So I said, okay, so what is the cost for a room for tonight? And he said $549. So that's 10 times more than I paid. So I feel like I got a pretty good deal. When I was walking around to get here, I was thinking, this is kind of going overboard. All I really wanted was a shower and a place to plug in my devices. And now I've got this opulence. Mission accomplished. The shower was amazing. I've got all my devices plugged in. I love my room. I've got a great view here, and across the way you can see maybe the sign for the Rio Hotel, which is where I'm going tonight for the comedy show. And I've got a nice big king-size bed and a beautiful room. The Comedy Cellar. The comedy show was all right. It wasn't as funny as I had hoped, but it was still fun to get out and see something live. It's been a while since I've done that, so it was a good experience. And now I'm just walking along the strip and doing all the people watching. It's St. Patrick's Day, so there's lots of people dressed in green, lots of people drunk and partying and having a good time. So it's very entertaining.
I'm in Red Rock State Park and I just did a hike called Calico Tanks. It was absolutely beautiful. And behind me is the Las Vegas Valley, and there's all these different rock formations. It's called Calico probably because it's got 3 different colors like a calico cat. It was an amazing day. This park is actually only about half an hour from Las Vegas. If you go to Las Vegas and you rent a car, it's definitely worth coming here. And there's a loop. It said online that you had to reserve to drive around this scenic route, but when I got to the visitor center, they didn't ask for any reservation. I wasn't planning on doing the drive, but it turns out that the drive is what you do if you're going to go hiking. So it's a scenic loop, and then off of the loop are a bunch of different hikes. So at the visitor center, I asked someone that worked there, what hikes would you recommend? I always do that because they usually know which ones are the crowd pleasers. And it was just so peaceful and quiet, and the air is fresh, and it was absolutely gorgeous. One thing I love about these parks is they make the trails very accessible. You never have to worry about if you are on the right path or not. They mark it really clearly. Anytime there's a fork or a little bit of a gray area, it will have some kind of marker, whether it's a stack of rocks or a sign or something. So I don't have to constantly be thinking about which way I'm going and making sure I don't get lost. So that's really nice about these parks. The car is driving itself right now. This is so amazing. I just have to keep my hand on the steering wheel, jiggle it once in a while so it knows I'm paying attention. Oh my gosh, it's like a roller coaster ride. Holy shit. I don't actually like to do this normally on these kind of roads, but I thought I would try it. It just kind of goes a little fast on the corners for my liking. Like right now. Yeah, I can't do it. It's pretty good, but it's better on the highways. This I like better, where it just is doing cruise control, so it'll slow down if a car in front of me slows down, but I do the lane keeping, because then when I pass by larger vehicles, I can give them a little more room, and being able to control the steering is actually a lot less scary than having the car do it, even though the car is probably doing a better job than I am. I'm in the Valley of Fire State Park, and I just hiked the Fire Wave Trail. It's very pretty. It's really easy. It's just kind of a walk around, walk out, walk back. It's not sunny today. It's kind of cloudy, so probably the colors would pop even more on a sunny day, but it's nice hiking temperatures for sure. I had been hoping to camp in Springdale, which is just outside Zion National Park, but most of the campsites were full, or there was one place and it said all they had left was spots by the river, but they were $80 a night, so I didn't want to do that. So I drove around to see if I could find a quiet side street, and I found this beautiful spot. So that's where I spent the night. I woke up to moon rising over the mountains this morning. There's no driving in the park. You have to go to the check-in place, pay your $20 entrance fee. You take a shuttle through the park. That's actually good for me because it won't use my battery driving up the mountain. I've only been hiking for half an hour, and I've already taken off my fleece pants, my down jacket, my toque, and my long sleeve top. It's very hot and very steep. Well, I made it to the top of Angel's Landing. I feel like that was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I've actually done this one before. But for some reason today, my legs were like jelly. And I even got dizzy at one point coming up. So luckily I had a Cliff Bar in my bag, and I could eat that to get my blood sugar up. It's very busy here, super crowded. There was lots of waiting to get up the final stretch. I think it was a half mile, and it was so hard. But worth it. Amazing view. He's looking for food in my tights. Uh-oh, I better go and check it. There's lots of sand on top of the rocks as it just grinds away. And I was holding onto the chain the whole time. Anytime there was a chain, I was holding onto it because it's so easy to slip. What's really amazing to me is my mom did this in her 70s. I don't even know how she did that. I was with her. I don't remember it being this hard. That's the pathway I walked on the way up here. It doesn't look too busy now, but it was very busy on the way up. We had to wait a long time for people to pass by because it's just single lane going both ways. That was an interesting experiment, being in ketosis and doing a strenuous hike. I had kind of thought that it would be easier, but it wasn't at all. If I didn't have that Cliff Bar, I don't know what I would have done. I was completely hitting the wall with a blood sugar crash. And once I had the Cliff Bar, I felt totally fine. I was here at this time a few years ago, and all the trees along the river were bright green with new buds. So I guess spring is starting a little later this year. The thing about being on my own is I can do whatever I want whenever I want. It's so freeing and fun to just change my mind as many times as I want. Yes, it's way more fun in a group to share the memories and talk and stuff like that, but there is something very freeing and efficient about doing things on my own. So that's one of the reasons why I love solo travel, is because I get to just do what I want whenever I want all the time, and it's actually quite addictive.